Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We take a look at the Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame first as we're heading here into the weekend. The weekend start is quiet as you would typically expect it on a Saturday. So let's see if Bitcoin, what the relevant parameters for Bitcoin are. Typically Sunday is a little bit more active on the weekend, especially late on Sundays, but we'll see what happens. Never say never. The chart here on the daily reveals that we are still in an uptrend. The 35k level is still support. And basically the pivot between the white scenario, which is the more aggressively bullish one, that can take us more directly to 100k and slightly above. And well, basically the yellow count is there as short-term bearish scenario, which however is also bullish, especially as long as we're holding the 19.9k level. I personally have a hard time see Bitcoin get down to that level at all. Well, I'm talking about 19.9k. If that yellow scenario plays out, first of all, I need to see a break below 35k to confirm that. Without a break above, below 35k, I'm focusing on the white count. Yeah, even if there are going to be, let's say, some short-term fluctuations here. But as long as the price is holding 35k, there's nothing I can use to, basically forecast the yellow count as a primary scenario, because it's that pivot, it's the 35k level, the 50% retracement of this rally. That's typically the maximum such a wave 4 pullback should do. So I use that level as pivot, because if we go below that level, it tells me that, oh, this probably is not a wave 4 anymore. So it needs to be something different. So what's my second most likely scenario? Well, it's that this is likely a B wave. But there's no way to, let's say, predict that until we break below that key pivotal point, 35k, very, very important one. And if we then get a B wave pullback, which I would personally see as a gift, basically a deep pullback within an overall uptrend, that doesn't happen too often. So it is something to look out for, and I would use that as a buy opportunity. I think a lot of others would do so as well. That's also why I have a hard time to see it get down to 20k again. Below 20k, by the way, we are probably looking at new bear market lows, okay? So that means we could then drop another 50%. But that would be the signal level for new bear market lows. At the moment, we have a lot of support levels before it breaks to new bear market lows, and that's not my expectation at the moment, right? It might get, it might increase in probabilities if we get closer to 20k, but at the moment there are still plenty of bullish support levels left, and I'm inclined to see any pullback as corrective rather than impulsive and directed towards new bear market lows until proven otherwise. Until the market proves that something more bearish is going on. I think this is the best perspective to take, since we've seen higher highs and higher lows in quite a bullish manner since the November 22 lows. Now, that's sort of my perspective at the moment here on the daily time frame. 35k level is key. As long as we're holding that, the forecast would be for a wave 5 of 3 to develop towards 55 to 60k. So these are the two main scenarios. The main question we're currently dealing with on the smaller time frame is, has this wave 4 already bottomed or not? And let's take a look at the shorter time frame, the 1 hour chart, which you see here. So on this chart, I have already labeled this wave 4 as complete. Doesn't mean it is complete. It's a little bit too early to confirm that. But if we see the pattern filled out, if the way I describe it now for you, this would always give us more confidence, along the way that this wave 4 has bottomed. For example, if the wave 4 is bottomed, then I would count this here as a wave 1. We have 5 waves up. The fact that we've had 5 waves up enabled me to add a support area. That support area tells us that as long as the price is holding above support, which is the 78.6 retracement level of that rally, we can focus on higher. Okay, so at the moment I see it as possibly a wave 1, a wave 2 pullback, third wave to come, a fourth wave and a fifth wave. That would be the most bullish interpretation here. And if we get all 5 waves up, that is again the next step of confirmation that a lasting low has formed. At the moment in the short term, we have to focus, however, on the, on the, let's say the present, okay? So we have to focus on the present, have to see where is support, and it's at the 78.6 Fib level. We're above support, we had 5 waves up, so overall the focus is on higher, even if it could be that after 3 waves, after 3 waves, the structure still fails. They can always fail after 3 waves, but that doesn't change anything in the very short term. So in the very short term, as long as we're holding 39.6K, the focus is on higher, even if after 3 waves, this is gonna fail. We don't know that yet. As soon as we get these 3 waves up, I'm going to add a support area for wave 4, and if the market breaks below it, it indicates, okay, we've got a failure. This larger wave 4 here, that likely bottomed, or at least presumably bottomed on the 23rd of January, would then still be unfolding. So I mark it as complete, but that doesn't mean it is complete. We haven't broken out yet. We're still within, as you can see, this larger range. We haven't even come close to the 11th of January low. But if at least one more high happens here, again, that is not enough confirmation to talk about really, okay, a breakout and that this wave 4 indeed finished. It will be the bull's ability to hold this higher low in wave 4. So at the moment, we can only focus on what we see in the present here on the 1 hour chart, 30-minute chart. The idea is, okay, we've got an ideal support area between 39.6K and 41.7. What are the different pathways? So there's a short-term bearish perspective. There's a short-term bearish perspective where we say we have an A wave down from this 30th of January high, a B wave rally, and we should still see a C wave down. This is currently what I prefer, given that the rally from the Thursday low was just a 3-wave corrective rally in my reading. Okay, so I could interpret that wrong, on smaller time frames. You sometimes see distortions, but that's my best perspective. It's a 3-wave rally. Therefore, I prefer another move down. Also, the market is respecting my resistance. However, we're still basically moving in the range. So there is not really much I can add here to previous updates. Basically, bottom line is, as long as we stay below yesterday's high, which was at 43,470, I prefer another low. Basically short-term bearish. If we get a break above that level, then I think we're in the breakout in the orange count and basically already completed wave 2. Yeah, and then we're already moving higher more directly. That would be then further confirmed with a break above the 30th of January high at 43,870. And then we could move towards 47K. So the bottom line is, as long as the price stays like that, we stay below yesterday's high, I prefer a short-term bearish perspective. But there's always the level when I would change my perspective, and that would already be with a break above yesterday's high, but then more so with a break above the 30th of January high. And bear in mind, they are both actually part of the same scenario. So I'm looking at higher, either more directly or after a small dip, then higher. I would rather just see it as I would approach it from a mindset that higher prices are expected, either directly or after a small dip. I prefer a small dip. And then if the market offers it, this could be another, let's say, opportunity to find a position for anybody who wants to. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.